camera, mini mic, it's getting serious. Everything I do feels like a compulsion. And I think that's the core of this. It doesn't feel like there's any actual intent behind anything I do. For example, I wake up and it's a compulsion of whether or not I actually sit up or if I stay lying in bed. Like that's how I begin every day of like, is it better for me to get more sleep and rest? Or is it better for me to get up and do something about the day and reset? Speaking of reset, this video is about resetting my life. Not actually resetting my life, but just the idea of that battle I've had with that. Basically, since I became a conscious being, literally since I think it was when I was homeschooled is when I first reflected on my life and who I am and what I do day by day. And I first like took a real look in the mirror and was like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Who am I? What is this all about? And what do I want to be? And I'm not doing anything. And then from that resulted in like an active sort of mindset. I had this obsession with like an active growth mindset and like being the best version of myself and really growing. And I was so disciplined and I pretty quickly got put on a pedestal from people around me because of that, because I don't really know what they were thinking, but I don't really know what happened after that. It's very blurry to me how things started to spiral down. And if they even did, if that's even a way, or if it just feels like at some point I ended up slipping back into a compulsion state. Whereas I think there was a period of my life where things I did weren't a compulsion. Maybe they were, because my thing that I would do, that I would just get up and do was like go for a walk. Like it was my favorite thing in the world. I went for walks because I was like obsessed with it. I didn't know my suburb. I didn't have a real, like I was 14, 15. I didn't have a sense of direction or a geography, even on a very minuscule scale. Like I had been living in this place my whole life basically, and I would just started to explore it because I got to an age where it was like safe for me to like go out by myself, and it was very exciting. And like I would go like to the beach. I would go like, oh my god, I've never been down this street before. I'm gonna go down this street and like, oh my gosh, this connects to this suburb and this suburb. And I'd walk for like hours just like exploring my own area, and it was really fun and I really enjoyed it. And a part of it was like me wanting to be healthier and fitter and whatever, and a part of it was just like I really enjoyed doing that, and I didn't have to speak to anyone doing that. I could just be on my own. I think that maybe was a compulsion at that point as well. Like I don't know if I can really label that as something that I would intentionally do. Like I don't know if I actually even know what that feels like to do something not out of a compulsion, but because you just can think, oh, I'm gonna do that. Not really have a strong desire to, but like, or you do have the desire, but not like the, like for example, if I wake up, I might have the desire to do yoga. Like I really want to do yoga, but I just don't because I don't have the compulsion to. I don't really know how it works or how to explain it. Like I really have to work myself up. If I want to do something and like actually do it, I have to really, all right, I have to hype myself up to it, and I have to like go and do it. And it's like a getting a ball rolling, you know? But for someone to go from inaction to action, just like that, like without a certain thing, like getting that ball rolling, sorry, there's a power outage. It's just going on and off. Let me unplug my phone. So, okay, we'll do this Ghost Stories stuff. Ghost Stories by Coldplay. Great album. Anyway, oh, we're back. By the way, if you ever are in a power outage, unplug all of your devices, because when the power comes back on, that's called a power surge, and that amount of power coming back into like your devices can like damage the technology and I think maybe start fires. I don't know. I made that one up. I didn't read that anywhere. I just made it up. I just made it up on the spot. You know, you don't want to damage your technology and stuff. I haven't even started on my page of notes. I've always had a need to reset the way I live day by day. Like that's just been built into me since I was, 14, and like this is a struggle. And yeah, I do get to ADHD in this, don't worry. Because it's becoming very apparent to me that that's apparent and that's like a thing. I really need to have something to fidget with right now that you mention it. Oh my god, yesterday I went into Prague and I think it was the most enjoyable day so far because I had something I was fidgeting with the whole time I was walking. Genuinely, that made such a difference and actually made me enjoy it so much more. And I think, yeah, like I think back to when I'd walk with my wired headphones back in 2019 and I'd be playing with my wired headphones between my nails in my thumbs. I'd just be like squishing I need something to fidget with really bad. Things I want to intentionally fit into my day and things I want to be doing is like, I would love to wake up and just go. I want to get up and I want to go for a run, for example, and I don't want to have to think about it, and I don't want to have to convince myself to do it, and I don't want to have to have all of these things I need to do to get myself that ball rolling. I just want to go from inaction to action like it's nothing. Like I don't understand how people do that. Like, I want to just be able to go and do something and not have barriers just come on my way. Like I feel like I'm always making up excuses, and I get into excuses later in this, so I guess we'll talk about it then. I want to do cooking, like I want to do meditating and affirmations and writing and working towards like actual tangible goals. Like I want to be the kind of person who's like training for a marathon, or like I want to have deadlines. I really want to just be able to be smashing goals and like building myself up to something and working myself out into a being. Currently, I'll often have like one thing in a day that I like set my mind to, and then that's like the whole day to me. Like if I have work one day, then that's my whole day. Things I do to fill the time in between that would be like just going on my phone, like genuinely just going on my phone. I know it's not a unique issue, but I spend less time on TikTok and social media than people I know. As far as I'm aware, definitely on Instagram. I spend much less time on Instagram now. I didn't, like, because I've got this timer that I actually am following, and I have a 12-day streak, so I'm getting back into that, which is great. Like very confident in that. I don't feel the need to open Instagram anymore, which is pretty revolutionary. And I haven't been turning to TikTok, but when I do, actually no, I have. I've been going on TikTok like every single day. Let me just look at my screen time right now. I'm pretty sure I've been going on TikTok every single day. I did not go on TikTok today. Yesterday though, I spent 2 hours yesterday, 15 minutes the day before, 30 minutes the day before, 15 minutes the day before. Like okay, you listen to that and you're like, Clara, that's like no time at all. What are you worrying about? My total screen time today, 11 hours. Sure, 3 hours of that was on a phone call and 3 hours of that was YouTube. This is the random thing. 50 minutes of that was on camera, 50 minutes was on Safari, 45 minutes was on New York Times games, 45 minutes was on music, 20 minutes was on settings, 16 minutes on Instagram. That's really good. I've only spent 16 minutes on Instagram today and I don't miss it at all. Like I look at that and I'm like, that's like, that feels normal. Like if I break it down like that, I'm like, oh yeah, like 45 minutes on music. That's just me when I have music open on my phone. YouTube, you know, not great for me to be watching so much YouTube, but like the YouTube I did watch, like 40 minutes of that was a meditation that I wasn't looking at. Like I did a meditation today. This is very irregular for me. That's because today I looked up, how can I make today more healthy? So I went and I drank a bottle of water and meditated, even though I wasn't really meditating. I think I did fall asleep. I think I did fall asleep because it really did not feel like 40 minutes. It felt like 15 minutes. And I was like, it's over? Oh, okay. And it was dark outside and I was like, okay. But I didn't feel like I had fallen asleep. Although, you know, let's not talk about the anxiety that I get just focusing on my breathing. I love meditation when it's the body stuff, when it's like, okay, now think about your left pinky and just think about all of the muscle tension just floating away, like one by one, inch by inch on each body part. They start every single one with breath, and then when we start it with that, then when it gets to the body stuff, I can't think about anything but my breath until I like literally forget that I'm meditating and then think about something else, and that's like not the point of meditating. And then the other YouTube video I watched was an interview with Bear Grylls and Alex O'Connor, and I wasn't looking at the screen during that. So like most of the, what else did I watch on YouTube today? Oh, I watched a Jordan Teresa video, and and one of them was a yoga video. Favorite YouTuber has to be Alex O'Connor. Like, come on. Like that's just, I don't watch anyone else. And Hank Green, Jordan Teresa, Alex O'Connor. Like this is the thing. Like I'm so obsessed with YouTube. Oh my god, this is just all Hank Green and Alex O'Connor. That's all I watch it. But it's like I want to be watching movies endlessly want to be watching movies, but I really don't think about watching movies every day. I don't think about movies every day. I really don't. Sometimes I realize I'm like, I want to be a filmmaker. That's really weird. I don't act like that. I don't act like I want to be a filmmaker, but I do. Like when I think about my life and my future, I'm like, yeah, that's like what I want to do. That's like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, new YouTuber I'm into, David Achu. He's really good. I like his commentary. I like his style. He has very good videos. He is very entertaining and very insightful. So yeah, shout out David Achu. And of course we love Curtis Connor. This is completely not, this is what I'm talking about. This right here is a compulsion. This sort of activity where I'm just like breaking down, like analyzing anything without a purpose or anything, just like looking at statistics or looking at like my history or like, oh, I wonder what, like random stuff, like anything like this is useless, and it's a compulsion, and it just, all it does is gives me a little bit of probably dopamine or something for some reason. I just like looking at it. So yeah, that's the way I spend my days. And I was noticing this before I left for Europe as well. When I was back in Australia, I was noticing every day I just kind of like have my one thing, like it's go to work or it's go to an event or it's go go see a friend. What do I do with the rest of my time? There's a lot of time, and obviously it's going on my phone. I feel like I'm not in the driver's seat. Everything is a compulsion and I don't have control. Where I currently live my life is very loose and unchanging and mild, and I'll often live a day by day with any specific goals. Like, I want to be living life in a more fulfilling, well-rounded, purposeful way, like with purpose, with intention. Just feel very uninspired and very blah and very like, why would I do that? Like, give me one good reason why I should get up and do yoga right now. I can give you multiple good reasons right now why you should get up and go do yoga. Like, I did yoga today. That's the thing, like, I'll have periods of like 3 days where I do the right things and then it just all goes away. Like, I've been doing yoga consistently-ish for the past week or two, maybe? Before that, no, the last time I did yoga was months ago. Doing yoga has proven time and time again, it improves my mood, it boosts my energy, it makes me feel less in pain all the time. I do feel quite in pain right now. My back is not okay. She's struggling. But yoga really helps me, and I love going out for runs. But okay, my one excuse today is that it's really windy and it feels like 0 degrees outside. You know, like the actual temperature in the field. Like, if I could ask Hank Green anything today, I have a different question for Hank Green every day. But my question for Hank Green today is, why is the feels like temperature? Like, I know there's definitely an actual reason, like scientific reason for this, and it definitely makes sense. But like, I want to know the actual reason why the actual temperature and then the feels like temperature are different. Because isn't temperature like a feeling, like a sense that we feel? Like, why wouldn't the actual temperature be the feels like temperature? Like, if it, like, let me just show you. Like, I know you probably know what I mean, but like this is Amsterdam, for example. Actual temperature 9, and then it has a little feels like down the bottom, which is 3 degrees. And it's like, well, wouldn't it just be 3 degrees if it feels like 3 degrees? Where I am right now, it's 7 degrees, but feels like -1. But like inside, it's like 20 degrees, like it's heated. Another thing I do is just mindlessly listen to music. Sometimes all I want to do in a moment is just listen to Von Dutch. Often I won't even be enjoying listening to a song, I just do. And I just sing. Like, often I'll be playing ukulele and I'm not even enjoying it, but it's like the compulsion. This is what I mean. Like, the compulsion isn't necessarily what I do or don't want to do. Sometimes I have a compulsion to do something that I don't want to do. And I think this is why laundry is my worst nightmare, because I genuinely don't think I've ever had the compulsion to do laundry once in my life. Unless it's an obligation, right? Like, studying feels like it's quite a compulsion for me. And when I've been at school or university, I feel like studying or working on an assignment, like I've got a deadline there. And that drives the compulsion. That drives the actual motivation. Motivation comes after action, though. That's what they all say. Every action I do is a compulsion. You know what I mean? Like, I've not ever realized this about myself. Listening to music feels like a compulsion to me. Like, I feel I can't go somewhere and not listen to music. But even if I don't really want to be listening to music in that time, you ever like chasing like the high? Like, sometimes you listen to music and it just sounds so good. I was listening to Inner Bloom by Rufus Du Sol like maybe a month ago. I was on a train and I was listening to Inner Bloom and it was ascending. I was feeling every inch of that song and I was like, this is insane, and I'm like, I feel like I'm on drugs right now. I haven't had that feeling since listening to the song, and I listen to the song quite a lot because I think I'm chasing that. I want to feel that, but I don't. You know the feeling when you like can't breathe, when you like are trying to like breathe, like have a deep inhale and like fully like inhale, but you can't do it. I get that feeling a lot. But yeah, sometimes I get that feeling during meditating. And my watch has this little feature where it has like a little relaxation 2 minutes where it just like guides your breathing in and out. It gives you a little thing at the end where it tells you what your heart rate was before it and what it is after it. And the idea is to show you like, look, see, your heart rate lowers after you do this breathing exercise. Every single time my heart rate is higher. Every single time. Should I do it right now? I'm gonna do it right now. Oh my God. Okay. Let me just take back everything. My heart rate at the start of that, 89 beats per minute. After, 70. My heart rate just went down 19 beats per minute. That has never, ever. Is it because of this? This is, maybe I study better if I'm filming myself. Yeah, I know it's like a psychological thing. It's like you do better if there's like a surveillance, I'm an obligatory, I'm an obligatory person, to be honest. If I'm obligated, it's getting done. But not always. Not always. I'm a person who really needs positive reinforcement, like with a task I'm doing. If there aren't like, yeah, that's good, it becomes inaction, and I like don't know how to, I just stop wanting to do it. I believe that I cannot do it. That was a nice little break, actually. I enjoyed that. What the hell? Me when I can actually focus on my breath for the first time in my life, that's crazy. It's 9 p.m. right now. Of course, and I get the most compulsions at nighttime to do things, of course. Anything that gets done is because of a compulsion or because of an obligation. But maybe the obligation is the thing that just drives the compulsion. Like a deadline that isn't created by me. If I create a deadline, that's not real. I don't have any grounds or any credentials to be making deadlines for myself. So this type of vibe I have where I just kind of fall into going on my phone whenever there's anything, and it's not like I don't have other things I want to be doing, but there's no backbones to these things I want to be doing. No goals, no SMART goals, whatever SMART goals is. I've tried SMART goals. I really have, but specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Let's think of a goal. Right now, I want to read 3 books by the end of 2026. That's pretty good. Usually it's just here's a loose goal. I want to read more. And I want to read fiction, and I want to read nonfiction, and I want to read up on philosophy, and I want to read the Bible. I don't want to read the Bible at the same time, but I want to, so I have some grounds for my beliefs. Not that it actually gives me grounds. Like the argument that a lot of Christians use of like, if you just read the Bible, you believe in God. And I'm like, have you read every single sacred text in the world? Because in that, with your argument, you can't fully decide what you believe unless you've read every single sacred text in the world. I want to read the Bible, but I also don't want to read the Bible. I'm so uninterested. This is my thing. I don't want to read the Bible. That is not part of my goals. I don't want to do that. There's no compulsion for me to do that. I like watching videos about people talk about the Bible. And you know what? Maybe that's enough. Okay, let's think about this goal though, right? Like I want to read more. Nonfiction, fiction, philosophy. So let's be specific. I want to read East of Eden, Emma by Jane Austen, and another book. I want to read 3 books by the end of 2026. Ensure you can measure success. Is it measurable? Yes. Once the books are finished, they will have been read, and that will be 3. 3 done. Attainable. Do I know I can achieve this goal? I think so. I think if I read every day, I could definitely achieve that. Just a page a day. Like more than a page a day. Sometimes I will read more than a page a day, but at least a page a day. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the kind of person to go through like chapters at a time. Sometimes I read like 2 chapters at a time, but I'm not the kind of person who will like, I need to finish a chapter to put a book down. Like if I'm done with the book and it's not going in anymore, it's done. I will not continue reading it. That's not how I function. Is that actually attainable? It is. In theory, it's attainable, as in like I definitely have the time to read 3 books in a year. Is it attainable in terms of I've done that before, right? I read so many books in 2022 and 2023. Do you know why? Because I was around people who were also reading a lot of books. That just influenced me to read all the time as well, sorry. So I think it's attainable. Is it relevant? The goals that are relevant to your career and education. I think it's relevant. As a storyteller, as a creative person, I think that's pretty relevant. I think I want to read 3 books, and I want it to be East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I really want to finish that book. It's really good. A book about film and a book about philosophy. Wait, this is low-key. I'm feeling like that. I feel like, yeah, like this. I like this. But let me just, every time I set a goal like this, it just gets lost. It gets lost. Like I don't know how to keep it all in the same place and keep it somewhere. Do you know what's actually really good? My whiteboard. Actually, no, but like if I have a thing that I'm looking at all the time, it will become like nothing to me. Like for example, when I go to open Instagram, right? It has a little grayed out thing there, and I open it, and it opens with this thing that says, what about mental health? And I don't read that. But when I chose to write down like a thing that I wanted to say every time I go to open the app to try and discourage me from opening the app, it's like, what about mental health? Do I actually consider my mental health when I see that? No, I don't read this. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have, people say like, oh, you should put like this on your wall and it'll keep you inspired forever. But it's like, if I listen to the same thing over and over again, it's just going to become white noise. If I read the same thing over and over again, it just becomes white text, basically. Like white text on a white background. Like it just becomes nothing. Like the meaning is taken away if it's just repeated and repeated and repeated. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Like me filming this video is a compulsion, right? But it's a bit of a refined one. And like I actually did some writing on this. I did some scripting, some note taking, which is very rare for me. But I've been recording for 40 minutes, for God's sake. I like these videos. I like these deep dive videos I do. They're kind of my favorites. Deep dive. I still can't get over my Divinity of Friendship one. I love that video. It's just so positive and I love it so much, and it's so true. Friendship is divine, but I'm also very much an atheist. I'm an agnostic atheist though. You know, this is the thing I've discovered about myself. My current experience of life just feels very inactive and passive and internal, and it's not taking me anywhere I meaningfully want to go. It's like I'm stagnantly waiting for something to happen, like for me to just become the person that I want to be, whatever the hell that means. People say like, what kind of person do you want to be? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm capable of being anything but myself already. I want to stick to this goal though of like reading 3 books next year. I think that's a good goal. Book every 4 months. I like this idea a lot. But I want to stick to it. I don't want this to be my default anymore. I'm saying I really want to shift. I really want to shift where my focus is. I really want to shift where my compulsions go. Like if I have these compulsions, I want them to work in my favor like they may be used to. Like going on walks being a compulsion, I want going on runs to be a compulsion. I want picking up a book to be a compulsion, right? That would be awesome if I could make these my compulsions in the same way that I make study my compulsion. Like that's a good compulsion I have, is studying. I think making videos and playing ukulele are good compulsions actually. I just tend to do them to a point where I'm not enjoying them and I don't know why I'm doing them and there's no end goal. Like I do write songs and I do like videos I make. So this is another thing. It's like, am I just not giving myself enough credit with the things that I do a lot of the time? Like, do I just need to be a little bit nicer to myself? But then I'm like, if you're too nice to yourself, then it's like you just kind of end up in this place of inaction, and I don't like that. This is one thing this is where I get into my excuses, right? If there's anything I'm good at, it's making excuses, and I do it so subconsciously at this point, the point where I don't even need a specific excuse to not do something. It'll just be like the vibes are off. I've gone to a point where I've taught myself that I need to have the exact balance of being kind to myself and being hard on myself in any given moment to actually do something productive. For example, go for a run. Like I cannot tell myself you have to go on a run or you'll be unhappy for the rest of your life and perish miserably with brittle bones and aches with every breath you take, because that'll just make me feel bad and inevitably swing the pendulum the other way, turning it into I must be so kind to myself and never put any pressure on myself and treat myself like a princess, which also leads to inactivity. So both of these extremes lead to inactivity of me just doing the same thing that I would do no matter which way I'm thinking about it. You might be thinking, well, it's not hard to find a balance between those two extremes, right? Like there's a lot of area between those. You know, like be kind to yourself, but in a way that like encourages you to like that you should go on that run for like more reasons than like you'll die if you don't do that, you know? Like be more reasonable, you know? And you're right, but that line in the middle, that space has just become a lot more narrow. Like if I'm a little bit too kind to myself, it just swings. Like that's all the way and it's just all inaction. If I'm a little bit hard on myself, it's all inaction. And it's very difficult to find a balance between those two, to not go to extreme and extreme. Like I cannot find a voice of reason to convince me to do what I need to do. Like it gets impossible. Like I will be in the mood to read and I just cannot find the voice to actually pick up the book. I'm not in the driver's seat in that situation, you know what I mean? Like, and this is what I'm worried about with this book thing. It's like, I'll be lying in bed and I'll be like, I really need to read those books, but like, oh my God, scrolling is so much fun. No, it's not. You don't want to be doing that. Like, and I don't know how to like really hit reset. I just feel like I really need to like shift and just like ditch this inaction, be more intentional with the things that I do and aware of the things that I do. I think overall there's just an underlying feeling of being lost without purpose. That's kind of the core, but it's like also the compulsion stuff. Like whenever I try to dig deeper and fully understand myself, it's like I'm sinking further and further away from actually understanding what will actually lead to change. And at the end of the day, I've got to know when to stop thinking and just start doing. And that's an interesting thing to say when I'm talking about compulsion, when it's like stop thinking and start doing. It's like, yeah, like it's like if I think, but then I don't understand that ability to just do something. I don't know. I'm gonna wrap this up though. Like I just really want to reset, stop this way of thinking and start anew and not ultimately just inevitably slip back into old patterns like I always do. Like I just want it to actually work 100% and just like finish things that I want to finish and complete the goals that I want to do like it's a normal thing to do. Like not like it's some revolutionary impossible task, like an impossible quest. Like honestly, when it comes to like day by day, the only appealing thing to do is listen to Von Dutch by Charlie XCX.